Kat sat on a kitchen stool, carefully tasting the spiced drink from her own tiny cup, and trying not to be surprised. The three ladies were talking about ghosts. Not in whispery voices aimed at sending shivers down a spine, but in the practical, common-sense terms one would use to agree on a shopping list. Kat disapproved. It took the magic from the world. The conversation that stuck in her mind was quite different. It was of some small importance because later on Kat would remember it as the first time she gave cheek to all her grandmothers at once. The subject of the Inquisition came up during coffee. Kat was rather pleased she knew what it was. "There are better topics for after dinner," Mabel sniffed, as only Mabel could. "Yes, but are there any as juicy?" "How juicy?" This was Lil, looking unimpressed. Kat shifted so she could see everyone. This looked as if it was going to be good. Mabel bored, Lil unenthused, and Anne on a rampage. Until now, everyone had been so very polite. "Torture and evil and chasing of witches." "Anne, my dear, do you think they could compete with old age?" "Don't be stupid." Anne was determined to get a discussion going. "What's old age compared with torture and evil monks?" "I should be scared of men who hate sex." Mabel almost shifted from being bored. Not quite, but she was on the verge of engaging. Then Lil finished the topic for good. "I have met angry monks. Menopause is worse." "Mine wasn't," said Anne. "My, weren't you the lucky one?" said Mabel. "But what about magic?" "We were not talking about magic," Lil pointed out, "but about the Inquisition. The Inquisition would not recognize non-church magic if it was beaten in the—" Anne interjected. "Child present?" "Where?" asked Kat helpfully, and started clearing the table. And that was Kat's first dinner party. It was more consequential than it appeared. If I didn't have this vague capacity to sense spirits and odd after-images, I wouldn't be doing this, she cautioned. Kat was fascinated, and looked a bit embarrassed about it. "I'm sort of the canary, and Mabel and Lil and I all work together when things go wrong. This is not something to be done alone." "What do you actually do?" "It depends," said Anne, and Anne's hands fluttered annoyingly vaguely. "This and that. We don't ghost hunt or deal with spirits that don't belong here, as a rule. Lil says that the things I can see all came with us Europeans. It's a palimpsest laying over Canberra, and we scrape it off so Canberrans can live in the real city." "But what does that mean?" "Strange words and no real explanation. Is there anything out there now? I mean, have you noticed anything special recently?" "Recently there's been a lot." "What's the scariest?" "The streets shift a little. It's as if they're restless." "That's not scary," Kat scoffed. Anne gave her a rueful smile. "You don't drive." "Well, what about something that would scare me?" "There isn't a thing." "Tell me something that could happen then. A maybe." "Would a death portent scare you?" "Yeah," breathed Kat. "I haven't seen one, though, and I don't want to." "Much better," said Kat. "Have you heard of a bar guest?" "You mean someone who is someone else's guest at a bar?" "No. I mean a big black dog with a coat so shaggy it can never be groomed. A dog with giant saucer eyes that sometimes shine with red fire. If you see the bar guest, then someone will die." "That's my sort of spirit," said Kat contentedly.